Hello friends, welcome to Road to 2019 World Cup. This is the show where we'll discuss each team one by one in every episode. And in order to do so, we have Yash Khandur with us. Yash is the founder of International Cricket 360 Network. And he'll be our cricket expert during this journey. And today, the team which is born from the refugee camp is in focus. Yes, we're gonna discuss Afghanistan cricket team. So Yash, thank you for giving us your time.
Thank you so much, Shashank, for having me here. It is a pleasure for me to be here, and this seems to be a very promising show, and we'll take everybody on this ride all the way through the World Cup and carry forward from there.
Right, so without any further ado, let me shoot up the straight question to you. So how's Afghanistan team shaping up for the 2019 World Cup? I'm sure their ambition would be lofty, but is it realistic to expect them to beat big teams like India, England in World Cup?
Before I get to answer this question, I'm a big fan of Afghanistan cricket team, so I think to all the fans out there, all I would like to say is the story of the rise of Afghanistan cricket is actually the story of our sport, cricket, for the 21st century. It's almost like a fairy tale, and guess what? It actually turns out to be a fairy tale. Starting in 2009 to where we've reached today, it's just phenomenal. Not just in terms of the number of achievements they've had, but also the pace at which they get there. It's the story of the victory of human spirit against all odds. The war that actually tore the country apart was essentially the war that brought cricket to this country. It was that very thing that brought Afghanistan to the pedestal that they are today. Head to head, shoulder to shoulder, neck to neck with the biggest and the greatest teams in the world of cricket.
Most of us likes to see Afghanistan doing well in international cricket, but background story and everything is one thing. But when you enter the field, the quality of your game is what matters. So do they have it in them to beat the big teams in England?
Most definitely. When it comes to Afghanistan, confidence is one thing that they have in abundance. Usually emerging teams like Afghanistan always have something in short supply, and that's confidence, but Afghanistan is exactly the opposite. They have supreme talent on paper. They have performed at various stages against different quality sides and come out victorious. They always seem to find a way to find victory, and that's what is very important. Coming to the World Cup of 2019 in England, they surely have the team on paper, the balance on paper to make it to the top 4 of the tournament. Whether they'll win the World Cup, I'm not sure. Whether they'll make it to the semis, I hope so. Probably they have the team to do it if the conditions favor them. Will they beat India, England, South Africa, the big teams? Maybe on their day they can upset anybody in world cricket. If there are some teams that you ask me, they can beat for sure, and I would probably guess them to beat. It's going to be Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, West Indies, and I might even go to the extent of saying Pakistan, with the wobbly batting order that Pakistan has at this moment.
Well, I'm not sure if Pakistan fans would be happy to hear that, but what do you think about their batting order? Do they have quality to face the pace attack of these good teams under British condition?
They surely have the batting to face the bowlers. How they perform is very unpredictable a lot of times, especially the top order, because they are very explosive and expressive. But surely on paper, if you see, they bat very deep. Rashid Khan can probably come in at number 9, and he's like the number 1 all-rounder in the world as per ICC ODI rankings. So they have a lot of depth, a lot of variety, a lot of hitters at the top and at the bottom, and a solid core. So they have the balance on paper. It's just the execution piece which is important. With the lack of experience, they miss execution sometimes, but they have been growing very fast.
So right, you talk about the depth in the batting order, but how about the qualities? Can they face the swing bowling and everything? Because batting in subcontinent condition is one thing, but facing the quality swing attack, that too in British condition, is altogether a different ball game. So do their batsmen have quality and the technique to face it?
That's a good question, but I think there's one thing I would like to clarify for everybody, all the fans out there. We always talk about English conditions because the World Cup is in England, but we need to remember this is not the Duke's ball. It's not the red cherry. It's the white Kookaburra ball, which hardly has a seam. I mean, even if you look at the seam after 10 overs, it's almost disappeared. So nothing much is going to happen in terms of swing and seam. The wickets are really dry over the summer. The World Cup starts on the 30th of May. That is peak summer. God forbid, like last year, if the summers extend all the way through late July, August, like it was during the India-England series, trust me, Afghanistan will be a very difficult team to beat with all the spinners they have, and their batting can always bat against. If you give them slow pitches, it's their kind of game. It's like they score a 260, 270 and then it's their game. Obviously, 350 run games, probably that's not what they're going to get ever or score even when batting first, because they just don't have that much caliber or maybe that much experience, but they're very explosive. If somebody gets going, goes nuts like Hazratullah Zazai, he's a beast. He went for like 160 plus runs in just 70 balls in the recent T20 against Ireland. Mohammad Shahzad, we all know, is a character in himself. Goes for the unorthodox stuff, and there's a good backup. They have Javed Ahmadi as the opener backup, and a backup for Mohammad Shahzad in Ikram Ali Khil, who's a young, talented guy, a left-hand bat, solid batting. So depending on how they want to go about it, they surely have the openers to do it. And then the core of Rahmat Shah, Hasmatullah Shahidi. Really, when you talk about balance and you talk about caliber, if you're talking about technique, look out for these two players, Rahmat Shah, even the skipper Asghar Afghan to an extent, and Hashmatullah Shahidi. Hashmatullah Shahidi was the only player who got a 50 in their debut test match against India in Bangalore. Lot of promise in that guy. And then they bat deep with all those hard hitters in Mohammad Nabi, Rashid Khan, Najibullah Zadran and Gulbuddin Naim. Lot of all-rounders there. I don't think there are too many teams who have top 8 with 30 overs confirmed. How many teams do have that? And then you have the 3 seamers. So you have 60 overs of full-time bowling, and then always you have Asghar Afghan who can come and roll over his arm, Rahmat Shah with his leg spin. So that's a big balance, a big plus that Afghanistan has.
So sticking with the batting itself, how about bouncer? How comfortable their batsmen are towards bouncer? Because I'm assuming since they're another team from subcontinent, they probably have the same issue, so to say, as the other teams from subcontinent like Pakistan or India for that matter.
That's a below the belt comment for all the fans out there, but that's a valid point. I mean, we have to face the reality. We are not the best players of short ball bowling, we as in the people from the subcontinent, but there are surely great players. Like there's Virat Kohli, there is Rohit Sharma. He seems to have all the time in the world when he plays the short ball. Anyway, we're talking about Afghanistan. Do they have the players? Yes. Can they play the short ball? Yes. Is it a problem? Yes. If there's somebody who like a Mitchell Stark or a Mohammad Amir who's bowling at 150 k's per hour, which goes close to the shoulder, it's a difficult ball to hit in general, and the players will find it difficult. But it's a one-day international game. All you can do is bowl one bouncer. What next? As a batsman, all you do is respect the bowler, say, oh, well bowled, duck below it, or just move away from it. The ball is gone. The person has to then bowl full to you or bowl length, and that's where your strength lies. So it's going to be more about how you adapt to the situation rather than getting overwhelmed by the thought of somebody bouncing you out.
All right, so picking from your comment about the dry pitches, I believe Afghanistan has good quality spin bowler, and they have won matches for them in the past. You think they'll be equally effective in British condition as they were in subcontinent condition?
Surely. I mean, as I said, if the summer gets extended, hell yeah, like those are dry pitches. The grounds are small, that's a disadvantage, but with the mystery that comes along with the Afghanistan spinners, it's not just spin, spin, spin. They have a mystery about it. Nobody knows how the 18-year-old Mujibur Rahman bowls with the new ball and gets the ball to swing, dip, spin, grip, everything with the new ball. So, and then of course there is Rashid Khan, the best leg spin bowler in the world at the moment. Mohammad Nabi, very experienced, very, very canny cricketer. So a lot of spin options. Now you asked whether they can do better outside the subcontinent. I mean, they've proven it. They've been playing T20 leagues all around the world. They played the Caribbean Premier League. They played the Bangladesh Premier League, Pakistan Premier League, Super League. Again, those are conducive for spin bowling. But what about the Big Bash League? Mujib was brilliant. Rashid was awesome. Nabi, man, he was such a good all-rounder. Good bowling, good batting. Short ball, you mentioned. There is so much bounce at the Waka, right? Like you don't get that bounce in England anyway. But even in those conditions, you saw Mohammad Nabi playing an amazing innings and winning it for his team. So these guys have experience from all around the world against the top players in the world because of these T20 leagues. And that is what is going to count a lot with these players. And what is going to be more important is the communication in the team. How well do these guys transfer their experience to the other guys? And I think they do a really good job at it.
I guess all the batsmen in the world would be watching those videos in slow motion to pick up their wrist action. But yeah, so what about their fielding department? They have been sluggish on the field when it comes to fielding, and we have seen not so good demonstration of fielding from Afghanistan's team. What do you think? Are they still like that, or they have got better over the time?
2 years back, you asked me what is the weakest link in the Afghanistan team. It was fielding. Now it's not. They are not the best in the world, but they surely have improved. There is a much more importance on fitness. There are a lot of young legs in the team. There is more importance on catches. There is more importance in saving the odd boundary. Mohammad Shehzad is a prime example. A year and a half to 2 years back, everybody out there would remember him saying, I don't need to lose weight, I don't need to be fit, I don't need to hit healthy because I can clear the boundary. And he even said if Virat Kohli wants to be healthy, he can because he can't clear the boundary. He was very audacious when he said that. What happened a year and a half to 2 years later? It's back to basics, losing weight, keeping fitness, rotating the players according to the game requirement, like they did in Ireland, where they against Ireland, where they rested Mohammad Shehzad after a few games, gave Ikram Ali Khil a chance so that he gets an exposure, plus Shehzad gets rest. Shehzad did not even play the T20s. So there is a very clear instruction from the upper management. There is importance to fitness, and with fitness comes better fielding any day. And as a fielding unit, they have improved significantly with the young people coming in there.
Right. So what about the captain? Do you think captain has enough experience under his belt to use his weapon at the appropriate time and to sense the game situation and take decision accordingly?
Surely. I'm a big fan of Asghar Afghan as the captain. There are some downfalls in his captainship. Obviously, everybody has a downfall, but he's one of the very smart and shrewd captains I've seen. He's one person who has led the entire renaissance of Afghanistan cricket, if I may say that. He's been the captain for a long time. Under his captainship, there are so many players who have flourished. In him, along with Mohammad Nabi, they both form a very, very solid thought process, like a solid team, team of two people which thinks about the team. He always consults a Rashid Khan maybe, or he always consults a Mohammad Nabi, because Nabi is a very canny cricketer. So like I said before, so there is a lot of talk that goes on. And Asghar Afghan, man, he just wears his heart on his sleeve. He's a tiger personality. People look up to him. Whenever he walks on the field, you know he's the captain of a team that's leading the field. He doesn't go onto the field like, oh, we are the minnows or the associate nations. No. He's like, yeah, I'm here to play and I'm here to win. And that's how Afghanistan, the entire team plays. They play in the personality of their captain, and that goes a long way. So as far as captainship goes, of course, a couple of things here and there to improve. Like if he could have done something better against India, it wouldn't have been a tie. They might have won a historic game in the Asia Cup. Even against Pakistan, that could have been won. There were a couple of strategic failures, but I think that's not just the captain. With such a young side, a young nation in general in terms of cricket, and a young captain, you need the upper management, the support staff to help them, and they learn with experience. And I think he's got the confidence and experience, and a very good captain he is.
Well, it seems like Afghanistan cricket team could be the dark horse in this World Cup. But before I let you go, let me put you on spot here. What do you think? How many games they're gonna win? I think they are playing their first game against Australia. So, but if I have to put you on spot and ask you, what do you think? How many games they're gonna win in this World Cup?
That is a really tough one. Going up front, you actually put me on the spot. Couple of things. Before they start their games against Australia, they have two warm-up games. One against Pakistan and one against West Indies, if I'm not wrong. These are two games I think they can actually win. Like I said before, these are the two teams they can beat. If they start off on a high, trust me, they are going to be in here with a big chance. Considering the reality, and if the English pitches and the English conditions behave like they are supposed to behave traditionally, then I would say Afghanistan would win like 4 to 4 games probably out of the 9 they play. But if the conditions favor them, if there is spin, if the pitches are dry, then they might be in to make it to the top 4.
Right.
It's a brave call, but I do back them
Right,
on slow wickets.
I'm not too sure about that prediction, but one thing is for sure that we all want Afghanistan to do well at the international cricket arena. So on that note, I'll let you go on this one. So guys, that was Yash Khandur from ICN 360. Let us know what you think about Afghanistan team chances in World Cup 2019 by writing in comment section, and make sure to subscribe to this channel and like this video. Bye.